It's cool, wonderful to see you all. Slightly nerve-wracking and lovely to be up here. And what a week. I think we're all thinking about the second biggest fire in California history that might become the first biggest fire. We're thinking about all the catastrophes this summer, and we're thinking about the IPCC report. I'm kind of a freak in that I actually read some of the actual report, and I wanted to say it's not exactly what most of the report said. It tells us, those of you who've been paying attention to climate chaos already knew what it told you. It's what we've been saying for years, that we are in a dire situation, we're running out of time, a lot of systems are very fragile and beginning to break. But what it also said on page 120 and thereafter of the 5th section of the full report is that we can stop this and we can reverse this. If we stop pumping carbon into the atmosphere, the natural systems that have always taken care of us, the oceans, speaking of fossil fuel, and forests will continue to sequester carbon. We can turn this around by mid-century. We can stop it, we can reverse it. I found that part really remarkable. And so what we're here for tonight is line 3, which is a very specific part of the global climate crisis, an attempt to build a pipeline so Alberta can keep profiting off pumping some of the filthiest, dirtiest crude into the United States, where it will be refined, not for the use of the people who will suffer all the harm if it leaks, which it almost certainly will, not for the benefit of the world, which doesn't need more fossil fuel, but for the benefit of the few. So, and line 3 is kind of, it's a very specific act of resistance. It's around Indigenous sovereignty, it's around water rights, it's around tribal rights. And that's really important in the same way that the Standing Rock showdown in 2016 and onwards was important. And it's also part of a global climate movement that actually has had a lot of victories. How many of you remember that at the beginning of the KXL pipeline we were told we could never win this, it was a waste of time, it was inevitable, how many of you remember that the KXL pipeline was going to be finished by 2012 and there was nothing we could do about it? And it got canceled and uncanceled and canceled and uncanceled. And then finally, Biden signed its death warrant at the beginning of the year. The Dakota Access Pipeline struggle continues, and I think that it's conceivable that they could win. So I watched some of this movie. It's absolutely amazing. It's really exciting seeing Winona LaDuke. It's really exciting seeing people who are so deeply grounded in place. I think we can look at the things that are happening. We can remember that sometimes we win if we try, and that the only obstacles we have are political. We know exactly what we need to do and to address climate change. We know exactly how to do it. We have the clean energy alternatives. All our obstacles are political. They're the money, the banks, the fossil fuel industries, etc. We've beaten them before, and we can beat them again. And that's what this movie is about, is getting us there.